probably months. They're dead. They're dead
Oh,
to the
are
world.
they?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how a lot of the headphones, like, is it because they're cheaper headphones or no?
Cheapish. I got them off Amazon for like $48, $50, something like that.
Yeah. My you know what? Speaking of headphones dying, my AfterShokz just died. Those bone conduction headphones that I had that I ran the marathon in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just died after 3 years of service.
Okay. Yeah, I've had these for, I think, going on 3. I've kind of almost exclusively stopped using them the past, like, probably 6 to 9 months, just because, like, they were starting to hurt my ear. So I probably honestly had them in for too long. And I was really bad about cleaning them. But my wonderful wife took them aside and cleaned them, and ever since then, it's been much better. But I almost exclusively don't use them anymore.
Yeah, I'm using my old school Apple headphones with this right now, and I mean these headphones have to be at least like 4 or 5 years old at the minimum. And I have another set of headphones too, so like those have to be like 6 or 7 years old. So these are old faithfuls. Let's just say that.
They truly are. I feel like people have some headphones kicking around from maybe like my iPhone 4 days or something like that. And like if I'm in a bind, I can't use them with this phone. I don't think. No, I can't use them with this phone.
No, yeah, not with that. Yeah.
Jack. But I probably use them to plug into like the laptop if I need to listen to a voicemail or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I actually use mine for like when I'm on the computer or if I'm like on a meeting and I'm actually going into the office in the city. I will go ahead and just use those instead of like using other headphones. But I do, yeah. I'm wearing headphones right now at the gym, which I got like probably like 8 years ago. These Bose, are they Bose or JBLs? I'm using these noise canceling headphones again. I actually gave them to my dad, and my dad gave them back to me, and they still work like perfectly. I mean, it's crazy. Like the noise cancellation is still like great. There's like a microphone too where like you can hit the button and you can keep your headphones on. I think I've told you this, and it talks to people, or like you can hear people talk. So it like flips the noise canceling to like an open microphone so you can hear everyone without taking your headphones off. So it's pretty dope. I just don't. I love and hate over the ear headphones. Like they're nice because they like kill out the background noise, but it's like also not nice because the fact that it's like, dude, it feels like your body temperature raises like 5 degrees.
100%.
At least minimum 5 degrees.
Especially this time of year, like, oh my goodness, I would be dying. Like even when I have like the foam headsets on for work, like I just start sweating.
Yeah, and it's good and bad because like I like sweating, but by the end of it, my ears feel so gross and like my cheeks and my chin because how sweaty I am. So Gainz Nation, welcome. I'm having Roman quality on this phone, this podcast, because I'm using my phone instead of the webcam. So I wanted to be outside for this one because it's really nice out, and I haven't actually really been outside like all day today. Maybe just besides the morning walk. So it's like freaking hot over here. It's like 91 degrees. It's sunny, so gotta enjoy it while you can, right, Roman?
Sure. Yeah. It's pretty nice here today. I think it's like 80, 81 right now. Sunny. I think it's supposed to be overcast in a little bit. I think we're gonna have some like passing showers, but man, it's just a dream here.
There you go. Yeah, and also too, Gainz Nation. I hope you guys have been watching the Olympics. I've been trying to catch it. Like U.S. women's soccer, U.S. men's soccer is actually doing really good. Women's soccer just won today. U.S. basketball, men's won today. I was watching them in the background. U.S. women's volleyball, they won against like Siberia. I think U.S. is like pretty stellar when it comes to Olympics these days. Like we just like got first with the women's gymnastics yesterday too with Simone Biles. Is that the last name? Biles? That doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, go USA. And go Olympics. It's like the only actual sport on right now. Like you can actually watch, and it's actually good for Roman if Roman needs to watch sports because it's actually during the time where he's actually awake and wide awake instead of at nighttime where he's sleeping at 7 p.m.
Fair point. Fair point. What have you been watching the Olympics on? Like, what do you stream it on?
YouTube TV.
YouTube TV. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I help pay a buddy to help kind of split costs for YouTube TV, so I don't pay for it solely, and I don't want to pay. I want to tell people that I don't really pay for a lot of that stuff. So it's like especially the only reason why I help out is because of football season, and it's very hard to watch Vikings games in Illinois. It was also very hard to watch Vikings game in Arizona. They're never broadcast. I mean, I feel like when we had that 13-4 season or 13-3 season, I can't remember if it was a 16 game or 17 game one. They still didn't air Vikings games. So it's like, it's like the main reason why I utilize YouTube TV, and then sometimes for Lakers games, but see, the thing is I can never watch Lakers games because they're always at 9 p.m. So
that was a 6 season too, buddy. Didn't the Vikings have like 9 or 11 one-score game? Like, I think there were one-score games that they like came back from, or like comeback wins that like they were down in the fourth quarter and they came back and won. Wasn't there a crazy stat like that in the 21 season?
yeah, and then that was the one that was the biggest comeback in NFL history against, what was it, the Lions, or what was it? No, it wasn't the Lions, was it? It was the Colts. The Colts, yeah.
Colts, yep, that sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that was insane.
Yeah. So, Roman, how's lifting been going for you? It's been about, I think, almost like a month since we last talked, or 3 weeks. We had Kyle Richmond on the podcast last episode, which is pretty stellar, pretty cool. He's doing some good things. If you guys didn't check that out, he's doing some good things. Voting ended for him, so I can't really preach about like voting for him to be like the best physical therapist and chiropractor in Illinois. We were preaching that in the podcast too. Because I wanted to give him some shout outs. Roman, how's everything been going on with you, buddy?
Good, really good, really good, actually. So last time I think we did an update. I was trying a deload strategy. It's been pretty effective for me. I would say that like it's probably not like an optimal strategy because there's definitely times where I'm probably leaving gains on the table, but from a health perspective, not having like too many like sore like joints. I'm not just saying like sore muscles, like my muscles will get sore after hard workouts, especially as I get towards like the end of like a building progression. But like, sore or like achy joints, which I was getting more of as I tried to extend the progression window and reduce the essentially like have a progression, anywhere between like 4 to 6 weeks and then like a deload, or like, sometimes I might only do like a half a week deload and then like finish out the week with workouts. It seemed like that would give me like, it might be like an upper trap issue or like mid back issue or like a weird knee issue or something along those lines. Since I've increased the amount of deloads, usually about 1 a month, but it can be up to 2. I'll usually do about 15 workouts, so I'll actually count each workout, and then I'll do a deload, either half week deload or a full week deload. It just kind of depends on like what my schedule is with like work, life, all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's been going really, really good. And I think like the gains are really starting to like stack on every year around October. I like to take photos and at least somewhat compare, if not to like the past like prior years, at least like the prior year, because October 2nd I believe is when I got back in the gym in 2018 after about a year hiatus, give or take, but that's like when I had like my mid back issues. So this October will mark six years for me of just like straight up gains. So it's going really well. How about you, buddy?
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear, man. Yeah, deloads kind of suck. It's always kind of not really a positive thing sometimes. But I'm glad that, like I said, I can't wait to see those photos, because it kind of just shows you that, that you're working towards that better goal, and it's gonna look good, I think. But we'll see. Maybe you'll get sloppy until October. I don't know. Everything's good. I just had the 2 quick updates. I just set up my doctor's appointment in September, and I'm gonna do my yearly blood work in September. I think I signed up for where if I can get in earlier, because the freaking setting up an appointment is just rough these days for doctors. But hopefully I can get in there beginning of September or end of August. But I'm going to get my blood work done, and then update you guys, kind of compare last year's blood work and kind of see, make sure I'm doing the right things that I'm doing. And, I think last year I did it around June and July. I kind of slacked this year with, having the house and doing house projects. So I just, I was like the other day, I'm just going to set up the appointment. I'm not going to just talk about it or think about it. I'm just going to set it. So I set it for September. So we'll see that. And then I finally went to the dark side. I am no longer doing full body workouts anymore. It's been almost 4 years of doing full body, maybe 4 years of doing full body splits pretty much. I'd edit them every year or do some a little bit different, but I have switched from full body. And it's kind of like a more body part / upper. You know what? I don't know what to call it, because it's kind of it's a trial right now. But it's I kind of just have focus areas of building my chest up a little bit more, maybe a little bit back, and then I want to do more leg work. What I've been realizing is I haven't really been pushing myself too much, besides the weight. But with, maximum reps, maximum quality of reps, I haven't really been pushing my legs so much. And I haven't really been doing leg days. All right, Gainz. So funny story is, as I was talking about, and I could barely see the screen because my phone's pitch black. I had the sunglasses on, and the thing, this just goes, temperature warning, you can't use your phone. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I said, I'll just hop on the computer. That's how hot it is right now in the Midwest. So, are you on mute right now, Roman?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I thought you just were talking. I couldn't hear you. But that's about it. Full body is gone. It's not forgotten. If you guys want to see what I'm doing now, maybe I could post. It's 5 days. 2 leg days. It has, chest and back twice a week, and then arms, I guess bodybuilding arm style, shoulders, tricep, biceps. Even though I kind of hit those throughout the week, just one day. So it's pretty simple schedule. I'm excited to do that again. Do something like that again. Still feels some weird elbow pain. Not really pain throughohout the day, so I'm just trying to I'll just say, you know what, let's get away from it completely for a while, and switch things up. But man, dude, leg days are hard. It's been a while. I actually started cramping in the evening, and I worked out in the morning, and my quad just locked up on me. Good thing I had Pedialyte on me. I dumped it in the water and just chugged it. I don't know if it's probably because it's really hot, and I did go in the sauna after the leg day, but I'm surprised it was after dinner. But I must have just got caught up with everyday stuff, work, life, and all that stuff, and I just didn't drink the water. I'm like, God, I was I couldn't even I had to keep my freaking quad flex for it to be able to move, because if I kept on just unflexing it, it would just, it still kind of feels weird, but I was damn, I haven't had this feeling in forever. But
great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Especially with the backdrop of the Jay Cutler video you sent me the other day. This time of year, Gainz Nation, it's extremely important to, if at all possible, supplement with electrolytes. So I'm not saying that you have to go out and you have to get
liquid IV, Pedialyte,
Exactly.
Propel, Gatorade, yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely don't have to do that. You could follow like the Stan Efferding approach where you put, a couple shakes of salt in your water in the morning or whatnot, whatever's tolerable, right? Because if it's not tolerable, then you're not going to do it. I'd highly advise iodized salt because generally speaking, Americans' diet is incredibly deficient, but it kind of depends on your tolerance for that kind of thing. Like that might give you a stomachache, for example, if you're like very sensitive to that. But yeah, whenever possible, especially if you're sweating a lot and you're very active, it's important to have a hydration strategy in place.
Yeah, and it's funny. I pretty much make my own electrolyte drink like every morning too. So like I did that, and I maybe it's because early in the morning, like first thing, we go for a walk, and then sometimes I'll train right after. So I think if I do that when it's like kind of warmer starting off in the morning, I think I might, and especially going to the sauna after training too. I might do the salt during the training as well, and just try to do that because I think that would have helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually do this, but I was like in the mood for it, and I didn't want to like have like a meal, and I didn't even really want to have a snack before the gym last week, and my cousin-in-law was up, so and she like wanted to hit the gym with me every day, like that's her mental break from work. So I was like, yeah, we'll go every day after work. So I just like I didn't want to have like food in my belly, I guess. I just wasn't feeling that, but I wanted to have something, so I stopped off at a convenience store, grabbed a couple of vitamin waters, and like slugged one back, and then I had one during the session. And like I've had a lot of really like strong and like productive sessions recently, as I mentioned earlier. But like this was very productive, and I think the mere fact that it's like it could have even been a like a placebo effect, but for whatever reason that sweet taste was like on the back of my mind like the entire workout, and like my reps seemed to be like extremely high quality. I was able to like all like the usually what I'll try to do is I'll build in like mini progressions from workout to workout. So it's really funny, buddy, because my program is almost identical to yours right now. It's typically 5 days a week. If I'm really good, I'll add in a 6 session, which is just accessories. I usually don't do that. It's pretty much the 5. It'll be 2 lower sessions. It's lower plus abs. So it's a combination of pretty much like glutes, quads, hams, and calves plus abs. I don't really have anything dedicated to glutes, like hip thrust or anything along those lines. But I'll do like a straddled, like feet elevated straddled dumbbell squat. So it's kind of like a modified goblet squat, where as opposed to holding the dumbbell up here, I hold in between my legs. My leg stance is a little bit wider. My feet are elevated, so I can get a little bit deeper into the hip flexion to put more stress and strain on the glutes, for example. But I kind of count that as like a glute exercise as well as a quad exercise. Anywho, I digress. So that session that I had the 2 vitamin waters, one before and one during, I was just very plugged in, very tuned in. So what that informed me afterwards is I probably need to have a more robust hydration strategy. And I'm not super active throughout the day, right? Like I work in an office type setting. So remote work, I pretty much sit or stand all day in the same place for anywhere between like 10 to 12 hours a day. You know, I'll go for a morning walk. I'll try and get out for a walk during lunch. I might go for a walk after work, and then I'll hit up the gym, maybe go to the grocery store, come home, cook dinner, or just eat dinner, and then clean up, and then to bed. But even myself, even with having like a relatively low key and not super physically active day, I believe that I may have been slightly deficient on hydration. And when our muscles are fully saturated with water, for example, and those electrolytes are holding that water in, as opposed to it being able to essentially freely excrete. We're able to get better pumps. We're able to exert more force. We may even be able to extend a set longer as well. So from a hypertrophy standpoint, plus. From a strength perspective, plus. From an endurance perspective, plus. Virtually no downsides except for some like hyperhydration strategies. I just advise to stay away from those. They're just silly in general. But having a hydration strategy, especially this time of year, highly, highly, highly recommended. We've gone over it before, so check out some of it that we've gone over.
Yeah, I'll tell you one. I'll just give it to you straight. Hyper hydration. I've been there, and the only one word I'm gonna say that's gonna happen to you is diarrhea. And it is true. I was forewarned by my brother, and then I think one time I just had such a ton of a big salt intake before the gym, or it was like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was after the gym during my the meal after the gym, and oh my goodness. So you'll pay for it. So when that's the only one word I'm gonna say for hyperhydration. You'll see when you push it too hard that your body will push back. Don't worry.
Or you'll pee a ton. And then there's like extreme cases like hypernatremia that'll essentially strip all the salt out of your system, and that can be lethal. So it's not something to like mess around about. We're just messing around a little, but we're obviously joking. But yeah, it's important to be cognizant of and having a hydration strategy. It doesn't have to be like super highly sophisticated. You can kind of tailor it to your needs. You don't have to be like, at such and such a time I have to take 3.5 grams of this electrolyte blend with 1,000 mils of water. It doesn't have to be like super hyper specific.
Yeah, that's where I got my recipe was pretty easy. I think I've told you before. I just stole Element's recipe, and I bought the raw ingredients, and I put it in my water with sugar-free flavoring. That's literally it.
That's awesome.
I'd rather advise that than something where it's like your own raw ingredient mixture. If you're doing it raw mixtures, because the only fact is it's just like Roman was saying, especially with potassium. Potassium can have like a lethal effect if you just ingest like a bunch at one time. And if your body doesn't get a chance, then yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, especially something like potassium. Super, super, super important. A lot of Americans, believe it or not, are actually deficient, and it's because our diet is generally so poor. So you can get potassium from a bunch of different sources. The main sources I probably get it from bananas. I eat a ton of bananas, like a minimum of 3 bananas a day.
And they're so cheap.
So crazy cheap. Not as cheap as it used to be. Back in 2020, between 2014 and 2017, there were approximately 29 cents on sale in my neck of the woods. 35 cents. In that same time frame, they're 69 cents when they're not on sale. 65, 66 cents. I've seen them 59 cents. So it's about 100% appreciation. So in that 7 to 10 year time frame. So we're looking at about a 7 to 10% appreciation per year for bananas.
Those damn banana laborers are making some good money, buddy.
It's so bad that I remember specific dates and specific price points with bananas, but like I remember mentally logging that data. Anywho,
that shows you how cheap you are, buddy.
Yeah, 100%. Gainz Nation, I'm very cheap. In some, I've loosened up over the recent years. And in some ways, I need to get cheap again because my food budget is like through the freaking roof. If I told Gainz Nation like what I spend on food, they'd think I was like freaking Jay Cutler or like Nick Walker or something like that,
I'd be curious too, because now with having a family of 3, I would like to compare, but we'll take that offline.
Family of 5.
Oh, you guys?
Yeah. My sister-in-law, my niece, my wife, my brother, and myself.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were talking about just for you two. What your the budget is just insane.
Yeah, it is. We can talk about it off air. Spending too much money on food right now, Gainz Nation. For
The,
160-pound male, I shouldn't be spending this.
his bulking calories are like 2,500 calories. He's somehow spending $1,000 a month.
I'm not even bulking. I've been maintaining for like 2 years.
No, I know. I'm just joking. 2,500 calories seems, whatever. But the last thing wanted to talk. I mean, we got like 2-3 minutes left. But the last thing I did want to talk about is if you stayed here long enough. I've been reading since we've been posting a lot more again, and we'll get these random comments from random people. Don't have no idea. And what they'll do is they'll comment on one video and then like kind of never see the full context. So it was a video of me doing like 100-pound dumbbells, and it's very fast. The angle is very low, so you can't tell kind of like where I'm at because the angle is on the side. So there's a lot of just like critiquing issues when it comes to social media that I wanted to just bring up really quickly, even though it's we're probably gonna head off in a couple of minutes, but you always gotta just look at the full picture, because like most of my training these days aren't even it's not even fast tempo. The only time I do fast tempo is usually with strength side of work and when I'm feeling really good. Like I don't ever touch 100-pound dumbbells for incline, and that was like the first time I touched them in like forever. So it's like it's always interesting to see in the fitness industry, because I do it myself and Roman might do it, but like we kind of just are quick to judge on that. And like most of my training is like bodybuilding style lately, especially being hurt and I don't have strength capabilities right now, and I don't want to push that envelope right now. So most of the time my tempo is like like 3-3-3. It's like it's like 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 second contract, 3 second hold, 3 second eccentric. So it's like I don't really or more. Like the pause could be maybe 5 seconds sometimes. Like I'm just getting into like that bodybuilding mindset right now where I just want to look good. So what do you have to say about that, buddy? And then we can just close it from there after you're done.
100%. So a lot of things, a lot of considerations to take into account. So you kind of get the optimal conversation. That optimal for hypertrophy or whatnot? Yes, maybe not. So it kind of depends, right? That all encompassing depends. So for you in that context, maybe you just wanted to go fast that day. Maybe you just wanted to test your rep speed. Maybe you were doing a little bit of power building. So you wanted to, yes, have a hypertrophic effect, but also work on rate of force development, right? So you're trying to have the fastest reps with the heaviest weight that you can handle for the particular rep range that you selected. Maybe that's the only way that you can do the exercise where it doesn't hurt. Maybe it's like an injury prevention strategy, and maybe you're conscious of it, and maybe it's subconscious, right? Because our body will protect ourselves, and that's why we'd recommend that you subscribe, like this video, stay tuned with Gainz Podcast, because we talk about some of these nuanced situations. We have, gosh, I don't even know, probably coming up on 30 plus years worth of lifting experience throughout our entire lifetimes. So we've done a lot, and we're both still extremely curious about this industry and about about health and fitness in general. And our goal is to bring high quality information that's highly digestible. So every once in a while we might try and analyze a study or like a meta-analysis or something along those lines. Oftentimes we're going to just talk about the kind of strategies that we're implementing, what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we'd recommend. We're going to try and motivate you, encourage you. So I would say, as Antoine was alluding to, we don't always know what's inside the mind of the lifter. You can always ask somebody. I I'd always say, start off with a compliment, right? Like, oh, that was so cool. The way you did that, I've never seen it that way. I really I can't wait, to try that myself. I'm really interested to know, like, why do you do it this way, if you don't mind me asking? Or in certain instances too, when you deem it maybe like unsafe for somebody, you can ask them like, oh, are you open to feedback? And if the person says they are open to feedback, then you can provide some constructive criticism. If not, then you let that person go about their merry day and you keep on keeping on with your workout.
I love it, buddy. Thank you so much for that. That's a good end. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to subscribe, please like, comment, share with your friends. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.